Hey everyone, just popping on because I was multitasking and I had a live stream up with a carnivore keto doctor. And someone in the chat asked a really good question that unfortunately he didn't have time to get to. And it was about how you resist temptation when you're going to a social gathering where people are going to have food that you can't eat. And I have a lot of experience with that, so I really wanted to just be able to answer the person on the spot, but I couldn't. And the doctor would have answered it better than me anyway. So I am going to try to answer it now and maybe help more than just one person. So, the first thing I want to say is a lot of it's up here. So before you go to any gathering where you know there's going to be temptation, remember your why. Remind yourself of your why. Why are you doing this? And have that in your mind. If you feel tempted to eat something that's bad for you, remind yourself of your why and make your decision from there. Another thing that can really help, it's a little foo-foo for some people, but you got to remember I'm the carnivore communicator. I'm an animal communicator, so I get a little foo-foo sometimes. Visualization. Before you're going into any difficult situation in life, a great practice is to visualize how you want it to go. Visualize yourself going in there, eating what you want to eat, not eating the things you don't want to eat. Feel the feeling of how great you're going to feel afterwards when you're like, I did this, I have this. Make it real. Visualization works. There are all kinds of studies, people learning to play the piano by visualizing it. It's just incredible. Another thing, never go to any kind of gathering where there's going to be bad food hungry. Don't do it. I know it's a flip because in the past you might have been like, okay, I'm going to go to this thing really, really hungry because there's going to be all this food, but don't do it because you're going to be more tempted and you're going to make bad decisions. So, depending on how much food that's going to be safe for you to eat is going to be there, maybe eat a light snack before, maybe eat more than that. Another thing you can do is before you go, ask whoever is hosting the event what they're going to be serving, and just say that there's a medical reason and that you don't want them to go to any bother for you, but you need to know because if there's not stuff you can eat, you will bring stuff for yourself. And people are really very understanding about this. I've had to do this for myself. I've had to do it for my son who is on a keto diet for medical reasons. Most people are very nice and very understanding about it. So, have a plan beforehand. Know what's going to be there that you can eat and know what you're going to bring. I have so much experience with this with my son because with his keto diet, if I go too strict for him, if I'm to have nothing good for him to eat, if he's in a social situation, he's not going to want to be on his diet anymore. Most of the time he loves it, but it's because I make it fun for him. So, we sometimes go over to family dinners and things at my brother's house. And I know that I always have to bring a dessert for him. And I make it fun. I bring a no sugar ice cream that I wouldn't, necessarily serve him on a regular basis for sure. But I will bring that for him. If you are carnivore, you can make Dr. Kilt's ice cream. You can make Maria Emmerich's really yummy, yummy egg pudding. There are a lot of things you can make. Another example, if you're going to a cookout and you're going to feel really deprived because everybody else is having burgers and hot dogs on a bun. And one thing I will say to you is that'll get better. I don't miss the buns. It's not a problem for me. I love the meat in those situations. It will get better. Your tastes will change. But for my son, that is the one situation in which I will get like those crappy low carb rolls like Carbonate from the store and bring that for him. And yeah, Ken Berry's right. That stuff's like, it's not real food. It has bad ingredients. You don't want to eat it on a regular basis. But if you're keto and it's not going to like throw your diet completely off and it's going to make you feel like normal and like you're enjoying yourself more, especially, if you're younger or if you're doing this for a kid like I am, that can be really helpful. If you're a carnivore, that's a little trickier. Either skip it or you can make one of Maria Emmerich's carnivore breads or get an egg wrap at the store, or if you're doing dairy, they have those folio Parmesan cheese wraps that are really good. There are things that you can do. Just have a plan ahead of time and have things that are enjoyable for yourself. Again, if you're a carnivore, you could, and you are doing dairy, do the Dr. Kilt's ice cream. And just remember that people are more understanding than you think. You may feel a little bit weird, but if you just say to people, you're doing this for weight loss, if that's the case, or you're doing it for medical reasons, they get it. Most people won't even ask. They might not even notice. Like if I'm somewhere and I'm eating like a burger without a bun, I don't think most people even notice. So the big thing is don't put yourself in a situation where you're like white knuckling it. And if that means that somebody places the bread roll in front of you and you either have to move it yourself or ask them politely to move it, like that's okay. I used to do that. I don't need to do it anymore because I don't want that stuff anymore. But it's okay. People will understand. And again, don't go starving. If you're starving, you are so much more likely to mess up. Another thing, do not drink alcohol. It reduces your inhibition on what you find permissible, and you will be so much more tempted to cheat if you drink alcohol. Like, it's not a good idea anyway. I'm not a fan. It's not healthy for your body. It's not healthy for your brain. But if you're trying to stay strict on your diet, don't drink. So again, just go in with a plan and visualize it, and you'll come out of it feeling super, super proud of yourself. And you can even decide on a reward for yourself. It could be a food reward, like say you didn't bring the Kilt's ice cream and you're like, well, if I get through this successfully, I'm going to make myself Kilt's ice cream when I get home. Or say you're like, if I do this successfully, I earned a massage. Whatever it is that you enjoy, reward yourself because you did a hard thing and you deserve it. I hope this helps.